Everyone was born for a reason, but most people die without ever knowing why. The cemetery is the richest place on earth, not because of the gold buried under the ground, but because of the dreams that were never fulfilled, the books never written, the songs never sung, and the ideas never shared. Trillions of dollars worth of untapped potential is buried 6 feet deep. And the tragedy? Most of it went to the grave undeclared, unmanifested, and You were not born just to pay bills, go to work, raise a few children, grow old, and die. There is something inside you that the world needs, a seed planted by the Creator Himself. You are not an accident. You were born with purpose, wrapped in destiny, assigned to a generation, and timed for an exact season. You may not have the best start in life. Maybe you were born in the wrong neighborhood. Maybe your parents didn't plan you, but hear this. God never consults your past to determine your purpose. You were not born to find a career. You were born to fulfill an assignment. Careers make you a living, but purpose makes your life a message. The fact that you're breathing is proof that your purpose is not yet completed. You don't need to look outside to find it. Purpose is not something you invent. It is something you uncover. Like a seed already carrying the blueprint of a tree, your purpose is buried within you, waiting to be discovered, developed, and delivered to your generation. Purpose is not created, it is discovered. This truth alone could shift the course of a person's entire life. Most people live under the illusion that they must invent their significance, fabricate their calling, or chase something external to feel fulfilled. But purpose is not a product of your environment or your imagination. It is a result of your origin. You were born with purpose already built into your design. You didn't arrive on this planet empty. You came full, already carrying within you the seed of what you were born to become. You don't create purpose, you uncover it. Just like a manufacturer never designs a product before knowing why it is needed, the Creator never made you without first assigning you a reason for existence. When God said to Jeremiah, "Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you and I set you apart," He revealed a powerful principle. Purpose precedes creation. That means you were not born to find something to do. You were born because there was something that needed to be done, and only you could do it in the way you were meant to. Think about it. When you buy a smartphone, you don't ask it, "What do you want to do with your life?" No, the manufacturer already decided that. The phone is built with intention. Every app, every feature, every part is designed with the end use in mind. The purpose of the phone exists before the phone itself is assembled. You never see a phone trying to invent its identity. It only has to function according to the original design. Now ask yourself, are you living like you have a design? Are you moving through life as if your existence has intention? Or are you improvising through survival, trying to make up meaning as you go along? You are born with your assignment coded into your very being. It's not a mystery for the Creator, but it becomes a mystery for you if you never ask the right questions. That's why self-discovery is not about creating a new version of yourself. It's about peeling back the layers of fear, doubt, comparison, and distraction to see who you already are. What makes you come alive? What breaks your heart? What problem angers you enough to move you to action? The clues to your purpose are often buried beneath the emotions you've been taught to ignore. Let me challenge your thinking for a moment. A seed does not look like a tree, but inside that seed is a forest. The tree already exists in potential. All it needs is the right environment to activate what's already there. You are that seed. Your potential is locked inside, and your job is not to create your purpose, but to discover it through growth, exposure, and alignment with the source. When you stop chasing after what looks successful and start listening to what resonates deep in your spirit, you begin to find your purpose. It's not found in popularity, trends, or positions. It's found in obedience to your design. That's why so many people with fame are still frustrated. They have everything except clarity. Because you can be rich and still feel empty if you're not walking in purpose. So don't spend your life asking, what should I do? Ask instead, what was I created to do? One question leads you to imitation. The other leads you to revelation. And when you discover it, really discover it, your life begins to make sense. Not just to you, but to everyone connected to your assignments. Your purpose is hidden within your potential. That means everything you need to fulfill your assignment on earth is already inside you. You are not sent here empty. You didn't arrive without equipment. But here's the tragedy. Most people never tap into even a fraction of what's buried within them. They live and die full of dreams they never pursued, ideas they never expressed, abilities they never developed, and assignments they never completed. Why? Because they never understood the treasure they carried. The Creator never makes anything without placing within it the capacity to fulfill its purpose. An apple seed doesn't need to go looking for apples. It carries apples within it. The tree is in the seed. The seed just needs the right environment, cultivation, and time to reveal what was hidden all along. You are the same. Inside you is a future the world has not yet seen. Inside you is a solution to a problem, a voice that was meant to be heard, a gift that was meant to be shared, but it's hidden in your potential. The problem is we often ignore potential because it's invisible. We admire talent, we chase opportunities, but we overlook the power of what's dormant. People may overlook you because they can't see what you carry, but their perception doesn't determine your value. Potential is not about what people see. It's about what God knows He put in you. And when He made you, He hid your purpose inside your potential so that only you could uncover it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like there was more in you than what your life currently reflects? Do you sense deep down that you were made for something greater than just existing day to day? That feeling is not a fantasy. It's a signal from your potential trying to get your attention. You were never meant to settle for surface living. In the book of Ephesians, Paul says, "Now unto Him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think, according to the power that works in us." Notice what it says, the power works in us, not around us, not outside of us, in us. That means your future is not waiting to come from the sky or from some external source. It's already within. The power is there. But are you working it? A seed can sit on a shelf for decades and never produce anything, not because it lacks potential, but because it lacks activation. The seed doesn't need anything more than what it already has. It just needs the right environment to unlock what's inside. That's how your potential works. You must stop living on the level of what is and begin pursuing what could be. Potential is always about the could be. There's the difference between a person who says, "This is all I am," and a person who asks, "What more could I become if I stretched, developed, and trusted what's inside me?" People often pray for open doors, not realizing that the key to the door may already be in their hands. You might be asking God for answers, and He's waiting for you to activate the gifts He already placed within you. The real question is not what are you waiting for? What are you sitting on? What ability, what idea, what vision is collecting dust because fear or doubt told you it's not the right time. The world is not in need of more people trying to copy success. It needs people who are willing to tap into their original design and release what was hidden inside them all along. Potential demands responsibility, because once you recognize what's in you, you can no longer pretend you're unqualified. You must begin to live like someone carrying purpose in seed form. Purpose precedes creation. Design follows intent. Nothing truly great is made by accident. Before anything is built, the reason for its existence must be clear. That's a universal principle, and it applies to everything, including you. Before a car is manufactured, the engineers first decide what kind of vehicle it's going to be. Is it for speed, for luxury, for off-road use? Only after that intent is set does the design begin. Purpose determines the parts. Intent shapes the structure. You don't make something and then decide what it's for. You decide why you need it, and then you build it accordingly. That's how you were made. You were not created and then assigned a reason. You were born because of a reason. You are not a random product of biology. You're the result of deliberate, intelligent intent. You are not here to figure out if you matter. You're here because you already do. The designer had something in mind, and then he formed you around that idea. You are purpose wrapped in skin. And everything about you, your personality, your interests, your experiences, even your struggles, is tied to the intent for which you were born. Have you ever wondered why some things in your life don't make sense until you look back? Certain gifts you had as a child, passions you couldn't explain, burdens you carried that others didn't. These weren't coincidences. They were indicators of design. Design is never random. It always serves function. That's why a bird has wings and not paws, because it was made to fly. That's why fish don't need lungs, because they were built for water. Your design is proof of your intent. Take an architect, for example. They never just start pouring concrete or stacking bricks at random. They begin with a blueprint, a vision, a specific use, a detailed plan. Only then does the building process begin. The same goes for every product you've ever used. Your phone, your shoes, your toothbrush. Everything was created with a specific end in mind. You would never expect a fork to vacuum your floor, right? Because that's not what it was designed to do. So the question is, why do you expect yourself to live without purpose and still feel fulfilled? Too many people are trying to force themselves into roles and careers and lifestyles they were never designed for. It's like using a hammer to stir soup. Just because something is functional doesn't mean it's fulfilling its purpose. Function without alignment creates frustration. So if you're feeling tired, empty, or lost, maybe the question isn't what am I doing wrong, but am I doing what I was designed to do? Your design is not random. It is divine. And the most dangerous thing you can do is compare your design to someone else's calling. You weren't made to copy. You were made to express something original. When you try to be like someone else, you distort your design and dishonor your intent. And purpose becomes blurry when you live outside of your blueprint. There's reason certain things come easily to you that others struggle with. There's a reason you feel drained doing what others enjoy. That's the echo of your design calling you back to alignment. So stop asking, what do I want to do with my life? And start asking, what was I designed to do? One question leads to confusion. The other leads to clarity. What parts of your life have you been forcing that no longer fit? What gifts have you been ignoring because they didn't match the mold others expected of you? The more you understand your intent, the more confident you become in your design. When you live according to your original purpose, you stop chasing approval and start walking in authority. You were born for an assignment, not survival. Life is not meant to be a cycle of just waking up, working, eating, paying bills, and going to bed, only to repeat it all again the next day. That's existence, not living. And you weren't sent here just to exist. You were sent here on assignment with a mission to fulfill, a purpose to complete, and a contribution that no one else can fully make like you can. You are not just part of the population, you are part of a divine plan. When a company sends someone on a business trip, they give them a specific reason for going. They don't send them to just sit in a hotel and relax. That person has a mission, a presentation to deliver, a deal to negotiate, a relationship to manage. Their travel, lodging, and resources are all provided to support the mission. The same is true for your life. You were sent to earth by your Creator, not just to take up space, but to fulfill something specific. And just like that company trip, the resources you need, gifts, talents, relationships, opportunities, are assigned to your purpose. If you don't understand this, life becomes a chase for survival instead of a pursuit of significance. You spend years working jobs you hate, trying to impress people who don't care, chasing things that don't matter because you've lost sight of the fact that you were sent. You didn't just show up here, you were deployed. You carry something heaven entrusted to earth. Look around and ask yourself, how many people do you see living just to survive? Struggling to get by, repeating the same motions day in and day out with no real sense of fulfillment or direction. They may be breathing, but they're not alive. That's what happens when assignment is replaced by routine. You start living beneath your design and your days become empty, even when your schedule is full. And here's the danger. The world will try to reduce you to a role, a title, a salary bracket. But roles can change, jobs can end, titles can be taken away. If you tie your identity to those things, you'll forget why you were born. You're not your job, your background, or your circumstances. You're your assignment. When you discover that, it changes everything. Think of a key. A key might look ordinary, small, even insignificant, but if it's shaped for the right lock, it can open doors no one else can. That's you. Your assignment might not look like much to others. It might not come with applause or recognition, but if it's what you were born to do, it will unlock something in this world that only you can. Are you living like a key or just laying around hoping someone tells you where to fit? Ask yourself this: what problem was I born to solve? Who am I uniquely wired to serve? What burden do I carry that won't go away no matter how much I try to ignore it? The answers to those questions point you back to your assignment. And until you start living from that place, you will always feel like something's missing, even when everything seems fine. Fulfillment is not found in how much you have, but in how aligned you are with why you are here. Your life becomes powerful when it becomes purposeful. And purpose is not just a passion, it's a responsibility. You don't get to keep what was placed in you for others. What's inside you were never just for you. So the real question is not, can I make a living? It's, am I making a difference? Because when you start living like someone on assignment, even the ordinary moments become meaningful. You wake up with intention. You speak with clarity. You move with purpose. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It's life without purpose. You are sent here by design, filled with potential, shaped by intent, and assigned to a generation for a reason. You are not here to wander, imitate, or survive. You are here to discover, unlock, and fulfill the purpose that was planted within you before you ever took your first breath. The journey to discovering your big purpose in life is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Ask the hard questions. Seek your original design. Don't settle for a life of comfort when you were born for a life of impact. You are not too late. You are not too broken. And you are certainly not disqualified. Everything you need is already inside you, waiting to be discovered, developed, and delivered. So, step forward boldly. The world is waiting for the version of you that was born to lead, to create, to heal, to serve, to build, to speak, to shine. May you never die full. Live your life empty, having poured out every gift, every idea, and every ounce of purpose you carried. Thank you for listening. May your journey be filled with clarity, courage, and conviction. Good luck, and may purpose guide every step you take.